with the elbow like that.
And you're breaking a coconut with your elbow?
Or like that. With that.
Wow.
This is called shuto. Yeah, I hope.
So you've got like a whole other profession there where you've got yeah, like literally. Now the first audition, especially on television in front of a live audience, can be very, very jarring. But the most jarring part of that could be and can be the fact that you're faced with judges like Simon Cowell, who is staring and gazing at you, waiting for you to perform. In this video, you're going to find out how and the reason why Wagner stole the hearts of a nation and the judges panel during the X Factor in 2010. So without further ado, let's get into the video and let's have a look at that. And before you do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to follow along here on this YouTube channel. And if you want to get involved in the conversation over on social media, use the hashtag #MakingWaves. So without further ado, let's get into that video and have a look at Wagner. You get 3 things.
Many times.
Okay, yeah. So that's the reason to do X Factor, guys. You get 3 things as well as soon as you you made an impact. And I really do think that Wagner's made an impact like everywhere around it sounds like around the world, like internationally. How many international people do you hear talking to you as well? Do you have quite a lot of people from like?
Well, I don't know. I don't go abroad often, but I went to Rome once to do that television show. What was it called? Celebrity Coach Trip.
Oh yeah, Celebrity Coach Trip. Yeah, we know about this.
Like
yeah,
that?
Yeah, where they get free holiday and they stay for a while on the holiday.
Yeah, you stay on a coach, right, being driven around the country.
Yeah.
So I went to Florence, Rome, and Orvieto, which is a medieval village. And everywhere I was going. In Rome, everywhere I was going, people pointed at me and saying, "Wagner, look at Wagner!" I couldn't believe it.
I mean, that's the thing as well. Like,
and then that guy from Facebook, from Big Brother, sorry,
right?
Brian, what is his
Brian?
name? Brian?
Yeah, I remember Brian from Big Brother. Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, I remember him. He always used to wear contact lenses.
He said, "This man is more famous than Madonna."
He said.
Because I was in Rome and everybody was recognizing me and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, like, because that's what I said, like joy, happiness translates, like everybody can understand it, it's a universal language. So like rather than trying to do things like for money, I really don't think Wagner did things for money. Like you've done it, you've done what you've done on X Factor to reach people. What inspired you to start X Factor? Like what was the moment that you sat down and you thought, all right, I'm settled where I am at the moment, but I want to have a go at X Factor. What made you, decide to go for X Factor, and what was the process like as well? Like for those of them, there might be somebody who's watching that's the next Wagner that goes on X Factor maybe.
Right.
That might be watching or might want to get started with X Factor. What would be the process for them to get started, and how was it for you?
Do you want me to say how do you start the process to apply? Apply for the X Factor, or do you want me to? What are you asking? What made me apply?
We'll go for what made you first, and then we're going to how to apply.
I always enjoyed singing. I remember being a child and my grandmother and my mother and everybody asking me to sing.
Yeah.
And I used to sing in the car. I used to sing everywhere.
Yeah.
I always loved it. And I grew up wanting to be a singer. Mm-hmm. But it is very difficult.
Yeah.
Almost impossible.
Yeah.
To have a break. There are brilliant musicians playing in pubs, and they're gonna die there.
Yeah.
With no recognition.
Yeah.
And so when I was a kid, one day my brother came back home and said, "Wagner, I've been to a karate school." Now, that was in the early 70s.
Yeah.
And
when it was more dangerous, by the way.
No, nobody knew what it was.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what it was.
Oh, it was like really new back then. It was sort of like
judo, karate. This was new. It was new. It came after, came in the 50s,
and
the 60s.
So we're going back quite a while now.
After the Second World War, the Japanese people started immigrating.
And that's how karate came over to the West. And
yeah.
No way, okay.
I think so. I think before the First World War, Japan was there quite in their place, really quiet.
Yeah.
And then as they came out last century, they started spreading judo, karate, and aikido to the West world.
Yeah.
Western world. And my brother said, I said, what's that? What's karate? And my brother said, Wagner, the guys, he was older than me. My brother was 8 years older than me.
Mm-mm.
He said, the guys break timber and bricks with their hands. I'm gonna join. So you do that. You break things.
Oh yeah, like the planks of wood, innit? When you say timber, for some reason I was thinking like a huge tree. Like
no. Pieces of woods and bricks.
And bricks, man.
Yeah, people break them. Yeah,
that's mad.
Is
that something you could do as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to open coconuts with my hands. I would put a towel on the beach, on the sand.
Yeah.
Put the coconuts on it so the sun wouldn't get in, and with the elbow like that.
You're breaking a coconut with your elbow?
Or like that. With that.
Wow.
It's called shuto. Yeah, I open.
So you've got like a whole other profession there, where you've got yeah, like literally like, multi-talented. You know, Wagner can break coconuts with his elbow.
But when it still has that green skin around it.
Yeah.
Not
when it's
the
not
nut
when it's
itself.
not when it's completely ripe. It's like
no, yeah. When to drink the water.
Yeah.
And to eat its meat inside.
Yeah.
The big coconut, as it comes from the coconut tree, it's green.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has a soft.
Oh, okay. So it's not the brown hairy.
No.
No, I'm about to say that's some serious stuff. Still serious. Like still a big thing. Like you're breaking coconuts with your elbows.
Oh, it's not easy now.
Yeah,
not everyone can do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of conditioning.
Oh,
I mean, that's
you gotta hit it really hard.
Like, yeah, I mean that's something in itself. Like martial arts. Like is that like like martial arts is something where you've really committed to something for a long time.
Oh yes,
like,
I did all my life. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And so that stopped me a bit from singing.
Yeah.
I didn't bother singing for a while. I became really interested in karate. And then when I was 17, I applied to go to university.
Yeah.
To study PE and became a PE teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was teaching karate to get some petrol money for my motorbike.
Yeah, okay.
And I was working as a teacher in a school to pay the bills.
Yeah.
And in 1992 I came to England. It was hard.
Yeah.
When you first arrive in a country, it's hard. But eventually I worked with sales, became a good salesman.
Okay.
Then sales manager, marketing manager. Then I had my own business. Then I opened karate schools and I was teaching karate. And then as I was teaching karate, I had problems with my shoulders.
Right.
Old age. And wear and tear. So
older than Brad Pitt, but younger than Mick Jagger.
So I had a surgery here. Can you see the scar?
Oh yeah, I can see it. You got a scar. Is it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, he's got a scar there.
You can't see it on the screen.
We're gonna close up on that.
And anyway, I had 2 surgeries, and I had my arms on a sling for weeks.
Yeah. Time to think.
Well, couldn't do anything. Couldn't drive. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't work. And I went on. So I had both arms on the slings. One at
both?
a time. No, one at a time.
Oh, one at a time.
No, one at a time. Of course, otherwise you'll be.
Yeah, you can't do anything then if you're.
So
one, slinging both.
Then one, and then when one heals, did the other.
Back into the other. So you had like how many weeks
I had
off?
3 surgeries between 2008 and 2010.
Yeah.
And while I was there, at the time it was called incapacity benefit.
Yeah. Okay.
I was on incapacity benefit and not working.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I wanted to sing all my life, but I was too busy working.
Yeah.
Now that I can't work, I'm going to sing. Then I went to sing in some pubs with jazz musicians and didn't like it. I thought, this is not for me.
Oh, really?
It's too small.
Okay, like small jazz.
I'm drinking. I'm singing. Sorry, no, I'm drinking. I'm singing. I'm singing. Someone passes drinking. right with the
Oh,
pipes
really?
in front of you. Yeah, the pub. Yeah, there's no room. They don't have
They're
a
literally
stage.
right in front of you. That's small, that is. And they don't clap the click. It's one of those jazz clubs where they don't clap the click. In America, there's like jazz clubs, and they don't actually clap at all. They click. Like it's some like spoken word poetry.
Oh, they clap a little bit.
Oh, they clap a little bit. Okay, so it's not the jazz club I was thinking of. Like,
but it's not what I wanted.
Yeah,
so I thought, I want to try something bigger.
Yeah.
I'll go to the X Factor. What have I got to lose? And then I thought, you know what? If they say no, I don't know what I'm gonna hide. So.
But then you've got no regrets, like, because that's another thing.
But I had to try.
You had to try.
But I went with a samurai attitude. When a samurai goes to a sword fight, he goes thinking, I'm dead already, and the door to my life is my opponent.
That's amazing.
I need to defeat him because I'm dead already. In order to live, I need to defeat my opponent.
I mean, they do say that your time's already written. Like when you're going to pass anyway, so that's a good philosophy to have. Like on regrets, that is. That's good.
I went on the X Factor thinking, I'm dead, and the door to my life is 40 S's.
That's amazing. That's a good mindset to have, but I wouldn't think I was dead like.
That's what I thought.
No, I love it.
Seriously.
I love it. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So that's what the mindset was when you were going into the X Factor. Yeah. It was like as a samurai, like a martial arts pilot. Like I would have never have thought that. Like watching you on stage, I would never have thought. You know, that's what Wagner's thinking in his head, but that's an amazing way to think of life. Like it's Gary V is someone I follow on YouTube, and he has the same sort of mentality in what he says. It's a little bit worse because he's not thinking of himself in that way, in that samurai mentality. He's thinking, my kids are dead, right? And he thinks, what would I be doing, right, if my kids pass away after I'm doing what I'm doing today? So he lives his life thinking, what about if I lose the things that I love tomorrow? Would I be happy with what I've done right now? And that's the same sort of, samurais, like it's going back quite a few centuries we're talking now. So there's a lot of policy behind, and a lot of mind frame behind how Wagner was thinking about starting the X Factor. So maybe if you're out there and you're somebody who wants to get started with the X Factor as well, or you want to follow more of Wagner's story and you want to follow him on social media, you should think about, not having those regrets. And if you're starting and getting on stage, that is a really good mindset to have. Like,
I don't know how the next process will be.
Yeah.
If the X Factor does another series of bringing people from the public.
Yeah.
Instead of celebrities and previous contestants. I don't know how it will be. Apparently, now you send videos of yourself singing.
Right.
Yeah, to save time, I think. Because the last few times they tried, they didn't have many people coming to the auditions.
Okay.
But when I went, my number was 64,000 and something. On the queue, that was my number, and I have that number on my first audition. I have my number. I put that number in here. I think it's 64,443. I can't remember, but that is how many people were applying.
Yeah,
I think on that year something like 500,000 people applied for the X Factor.
So obviously you've got like you're waiting in the queue of these people as well.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got to wait in the queue of people. I'm guessing for hours.
Hours, yeah.
Right, so that's hours of dedication.
I had to get there really early in the morning.
Yeah.
And when I got there, the queue was already huge. So then the first audition.
Mm-hmm.
If you pass the first audition in a booth.
Yeah. Oh, so you're in a booth first? You don't go straight to the stage?
Booth. Not in a booth, for God's sake.
That's alright, that's fine.
Yeah. With a producer, if you get a yes there, you go to the second audition, and if you get a yes,
then you go into the stage.
Then you go to the third. But the third, they don't tell you yes or no. They film you interacting and talking. Mm-hmm. And singing, and they tell you to go back home and wait. Well, they told me then, that's it, now you wait. If you don't hear from us in 6 weeks, it's because you haven't been successful in the shortlisting process.
Wow.
and I was shortlisted.
I mean, that's amazing. I'm just gonna.
So I presume that they study that footage that they have, and they pick the ones they think will
go through the process, right?
Well, they choose the ones they want to be in the show.
That's a lot of doors to break down as well. Like, you know, you've had to break down. First you've got the waiting period, so you're having to wait, guys. Like, in order, you know, you've got to phone up, you've got to reply, then you've got to wait in this queue after you've been given your number. After you've been given your number, you've then got to wait hours to get into a booth. Then you're into a booth with the producers, and before you've even got that chance, you still got to go. I mean, that's another reason why I love you as well, your determination, because that is a lot of determination. I bet there were people like in the queue waiting for hours that turned away.
I don't know.
You know, you probably didn't see it yourself,
maybe.
But most likely there was some that, you know, that would, this isn't for me. I don't love it that much. You know, I don't love what I'm doing that much. I mean, in life, you know, opportunities come like sparingly. You know, we don't always get opportunities. But Wagner's testament, if you've got an opportunity, don't waste it. Don't just be like, okay, I've got to wait a couple of hours. I've got to wait for a booth.
Opportunities don't come back.
Yeah. I mean, regrets. You don't want regrets in life, and that's one thing I really want to drive home to, you know, these young kids that are watching
regrets. I've had a few.
I mean, that's one thing I want to drive home.
But I did it my way.
That's going to be captioned the meme that is as well, that is soon, isn't it? They're going to meme that as like, this is what happened with Wagner is on the Making Waves podcast. They're impatient. Kids nowadays, they don't have the most amount of patience.
No.
Right, and for their dreams, you know, and think of Wagner and how long he's had to wait for that, and that's an opportunity that he could have walked out on. He could have turned away and been like, okay, you know, you easily could have done it yourself. Like, you could have been like, I love what I'm doing, but I'm going to find a different way because I'm having to wait, right? And I really do think that some of these kids today that are watching would have been, it's 5 hours. I don't want to wait 5 hours. You know, I'm going to go and apply on the internet and do something else on the internet. You're there in person. You know, you're literally there in person, waiting in a line. You know, and you're not applying through an email, and you're not doing so. And so you're literally physically breaking down those doors. You know what I mean? And there's these people, you know, today in the day in the internet, you know, you can't blame everybody. You know, sometimes we do something online and it absolutely blows up and it goes catastrophic and it's massive and you get your opportunities coming towards you. But you've physically had to walk to a place, wait for hours, right, before you've even had the chance to then wait for 6 weeks. Right, you're going to have to wait 6 weeks then afterwards to hear back. I mean, that's...
The first 2 auditions were on Saturday, and then the third audition was on the following day, the Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I mean, it wasn't even on the same day? It wasn't on the same day then?
No.
Oh, okay, no way. But the process of X Factor would have been, you know, that's... Yeah. I mean, traditional media is changing now. So we've had, like, television, and you've made a really big impact on television. Like, to me, anyway, and I know the viewers that are watching, Wagner's made a huge impact on us, right? And I think you changed the X Factor forever, right? And the reason why I say that...
I just can't believe this, but it is true.
It's true, yeah. The reason why I say that is before Wagner, before 2010, before you auditioned and before you went live on the live shows, a lot of the acts were ballads and just ballads, right? And long notes and, you know, making sure you can extend your note in what you're doing. Now, you can sing, but more importantly, you can entertain. You know, I think...
You know what you just said, that created an impact in people's lives. I was performing the other day, a couple of weeks ago. Or was it 3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm doing the meet and greet and having pictures taken with people, one guy said to me, "You caused a huge impact in my life." And I looked at him and I thought, how? And later I asked him, I called him, I said, "I'm curious, how did I cause a huge impact in your life?" And the guy said that I had shown him the joy of being alive.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, but shouldn't we all have that? But you know what is funny as well, Anthony? Not Anthony. You know what is funny as well? I'm only happy like that when I'm singing.
Right.
When I'm not singing, I'm quite serious and sometimes quiet, and I think a lot, and I
Yeah.
meditate a lot, and I think a lot about things. I'm
Yeah.
always thinking and worrying about things. Like, for instance, I'm 63 now,
Yeah.
and I was 54 when I went on the X Factor. Life can start late.
Yeah,
I was
I mean,
54 when my life changed completely and it started again. But time flies, and now 9 years later, I'm 63, and I'm aware that I have maybe 5, 10, 20 years of life left, because people tend to die in their 80s.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I think, I look at my dogs, I look at my children, and I think, one of these days, I'll be gone.
Mm.
And if there is eternal life, which I believe there is,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there and unable to get in touch.
Mm.
Sometimes, if there is heaven, it must be like Hawaii. But I'm happy here in England. I don't want to go to Hawaii right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to die. Not just yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's something
Last
that I
question.
think about. So when you see me singing happy, when I'm happy when I'm singing. But when I'm not singing, I'm just like you. I've got my problems and my worries.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.